Alright, it's finally here. I know I've been working on this one for a long time, and I've been posting about it a lot as well. But I think it's finally time to show it off, I think. Now, I've got these big old walls that are usually um, in the city, the raider barricades, but I think they look quite nice as high junk walls. Very glad I have a mod for that. I think because I have expanded borders, I go all the way to the edge of the forest of this place. This is my personal home, by the way. And I just love this. Happened to be in line with my fence, so I thought I would just integrate it. Because, I feel like a steel 2 would make a good support and barricade. And of course, it's not tall enough, so I added a chain fence at the top to keep out ne'er do wells. And if you keep going around, see, it circumvents the entire settlement. Goes all the way around. And sometimes some parts poke out, like at the borders, so the settlers come out here and wander sometimes. But I've got it all the way around to the edge of the coast. I've actually barricaded this house because I like to add a little logic to my world. And I figured if someone was gonna come and try and, attack, they would try to get a vantage point up there and just shoot over the wall. And I do have barricades that go all the way to the coast, but I can finagle my way through, and I don't think it'd be unimaginable that anyone else could. And that's why I have one of these. It's a boxcar. Keeps my settlement. It juts out into the ocean. I actually really like this one. I have one on the other side, but this one is cool because it's supported by telephone poles. Just sticks out and it's supported, and I like to think that it looks really cool. And this one actually has additional functionality because it's actually in deep ocean, and so I figured I'd use it as like a little dock for the small boats, because in my version of the Minutemen they use the ocean a lot for transport and travel. You'll see that later on. But yeah, they can drop down from there, come down in here, and sail away on the smaller boats. Because in my version of this reality, they do have access to larger ships, like the fishing boats, but smaller boats are cheaper to use and make and maintain. I've got one on the other end, but that side just has beach. You'll be able to see it while we're actually in here. Alright, I think it's time to open the gate. I mean, I have very minimal defenses on the outside. It's just these two turrets and a flag. And when you come in here, you can see, well, they're not here right now, but there's my Bunker Hill trading post. I keep it on the outside because you don't need them all the way in the settlement, which is right here. You can see it in the distance. We'll get to that as we go. And notice, not very many defenses on the outside. But once you come in, I've made it a bit of a castle, outer wall, inner wall structure itself. And this is where the real defenses are. We got a missile turret and some more regular turrets. And these are special turrets called Gatling turrets that shoot explosive rounds and require power. And so when this place gets raided, this whole road just becomes an alley of death where they just get annihilated. Here's my provisioner. I replaced the Brahmin with iBots. Doesn't make any sense logically, but it looks better. Added a nice bench here, a nice seat. I've seen Trash Can Carla sit in here. It was pretty funny and see that old lady so high up. Now, because this is my player home, and I am the general with the Minutemen, that's how I generally tend to play, I've placed a cabin here for communications, because I figured you would need access to the entire area through radio. And actually added some things right here. A switch to control it, because up there's blinking lights. I think that looks really cool. You know, there's like one of those repeating thingies in here, stuck in there. And in here is the communication center. It's very sparse. It's more of an outpost in the middle of my castle area. Got soundproofing everywhere, technology, a desk, and a Minutemen flag. I don't remember which mod changes the Minutemen flag into this. I personally prefer the original, but the mod's benefits outweighs its cons. Oh, and this. You probably saw this one, was wondering what it is. This is a functional cannon turret. It actually shoots cannonballs. And when we get raided, they just blast them. I once spawned in a super mutant behemoth right here, and it was just annihilated. Alright, you can see there's more. Another wall. This one made of regular junk walls, the vanilla kind. Oh man. More turrets on the outside. You can see the train car back there. And this area is remaining empty just because raiders like to spawn over here and they just get obliterated. And I would put a farm there, but I don't want my settlers to get killed when the missiles start flying. So I think I'll just leave it empty for now. That's just unfortunate. Waste of space. And now we come in here in your inner gate with the American flag and the Minutemen flag. Some defenses. These are just passing by Minutemen. Oh, and as you can see, I have another train car on this end. It's a bit more loose, I guess. As you can see, you come out here. It's another expanded area. Yeah, and I'm back in. Only I can do that, of course. Now, this is one of my favorite parts of this whole place. Is this, who I believe is a George Washington statue. You know, I've lit him up. I think it looks quite good. Put some ornamental cannons here. And as I've been mentioning, I've had a bunch of settlement problems with the settlers. That is, I've been trying to attract more, but they don't seem to be coming because I don't have any food here. Yeah. And yeah, you can see you can come in here, go into nothingness, or come down here and head on into the boats. It's quite good. And here, let me get a full shot of the house. You can see Codsworth with his anchor arms. Yeah, you can see the whole place. I think it looks quite good. You can see my personal power armor right there. And a motorcycle. And a doghouse for dog meat. The main power supply. Our water. And here is a loading dock. Because again, in my version of the Minutemen, they use a lot of boats. And I've implanted this crane because I think it looks good and it would help. There's a pier right here and a nice ladder. We're not actually outside the bounds of the settlement, but I have place anywhere so I can put it wherever I want as long as I turn off workshop timeout. And yeah, with this boat, I haven't built it yet, but in lore it would head over to Kingsport or maybe another seaside settlement like Coastal Cottage, which just a terrible settlement. I don't even want to show that build. Yeah, now let's head back around and look through the house. I've got these like settler path stairways. It's the only way they'll go through. And I've got basically a fire escape that goes all the way to the top. We'll go through part of it on our way up, but we have the normal staircase. This is the crafting room, with the crafting tables. Downstairs, it's the basement. There's some sparse furniture. But here's the main feature of the bottom floor, is the armory. This whole room seems to be like reinforced Lots of weapons hanging on the wall. All of these are different types of weapons, and I sort them by caliber. I sort them by caliber as they go up, and then armor on this side. More Minutemen flags. And when you come up here, you get to the security desk. All of my settlements, I try to have a spare room where the chief of security would have his office. It's very sparse right now. Just got Napoleon and all that. Just a small deck out here. This is another pathfinding way that the settlers like. They like to walk across this to get back in here. Yeah. And that's this floor. And this is where the merchants hang out. This is where they sell their wares to me exclusively and generates income. And then when you come up here, here's the bar. I have Kate because in this playthrough I've romanced her, and so I keep her here with the Vault Tech soda stream. Some more exercise equipment, furniture. I've blocked off these windows because the roof is right here and it cuts them off. And I think it looks better like that. Here are the quarters for the settlers that do live here. I consider them my staff, because this isn't a settlement, it's more of my house. And then when you come up here, this is where you get into my house. This is my office and bedroom. All my magazines on display, my vending machines, some couches. I got a bit of an oval office thing going on in here. You see these steel beams. We'll see what that's for later. And I've got costumes. All different kinds of costumes that I like. At least a couple from every faction that I find interesting. Some companions. You can see superhero costumes. And other cool stuff. Got my oval office here. This is where, as the head of the Minutemen, the general, I would do most of my logistics work. Some communication stuff, decorations. Here's my bedroom. Is this small room. I've got these curtains up here. So, because this is a glass house, you can have some privacy by shutting the curtains. A little kitchen. All of these are of a character or of a faction. This one, I think, would represent my dead wife. They're wearing the wedding ring. And they're wearing the Covenant armor, because it's Vault Tech armor. That's more collectibles. There's this desk. I don't know if it'll let me. Uh-oh. Okay, really don't mind that. This is my personal balcony and also my spawn point for this settlement, so I can get a good view. I think it looks quite good from down here, but this isn't even the best view that you can get. All that unloaded stuff in the background. This isn't even the best view you can get from this settlement. You'll have to go up a couple more floors, but first, this is where I keep all my power armor. I moved all the sets from Sanctuary. That took forever. But yeah, I have a couple of each. Tons of T45, a couple T52s, plenty of T60. I have 3 XL1 suits. I use one as my personal suit, and plenty of unfinished suits. Oh man, most of these T60 suits and T50 suits were pieced together from scavenged suits, as well as bits that I bought from the Atom Cats. I have access to the Brotherhood, but I don't like them. Alright. I believe this is the original T45 suit. It's been painted, obviously. Alright, time to go to the top floor. This is the roof. It's quite the view. It's almost like a castle. That's what I think anyways. A village and a castle. My artillery, of course. I wanted to get more sellers to man these and to replace some of the merchants that had died from a mod glitch. But I couldn't get them in time, so you'll just have to deal. Oh, I flattened this part of the roof just so you could get a nice view of the ocean. Oh man. It's quite a beautiful, I think. And as well, you can crawl over here if you're not scared. Another missile turret. This one actually could reach all the way to the ground. I've seen it shoot down into that first kill box area. It's got quite the range. It's right there for when I inevitably blow up the Pridwin, because I always do that as the Minutemen, and they come flying at you. So that's what that's for. Yeah. And I believe that's everything. You know, I've been working on this house for quite a while, and I like it. I really do. It's barely holding together. The game does not like me having all this stuff, but I think it's perfect, to be honest. I'd really like to hear your opinions about it. Oh man. I think I've doubled the size of the house. It's fantastic. And anyways, I hope you guys like this. I hope this recording is actually recording, because I'll be very sad if it doesn't. And I think if this gets any attention, I think I'll do more builds, or at least, well, I'm definitely going to do builds, but whether I show them to you through videos will be decided by this. Alright then, see you later.